YouTube, what is up? So this is gonna be the final figure, and this is the Build-A-Figure of Marvel's X-Men Age of Apocalypse Sugar Man series. And I gotta say, man, I kind of dig this wave, and I think a majority of you guys are gonna like it. Here we got Sugar Man in pieces, and it's funny because the way he died, he was actually cut in half. He got into a skirmish with the X Men, and it doesn't specifically show the way he dies, but it was from Bishop's point of view, and he was knocked out. And when he woke up, he found Sugar Man cut in half. So, anyways, Sugar Man's first appearance would have been in Generation Next in 1995, created by Scott LaBelle and Chris Bachalo. He's an expert biologist and geneticist. He has superhuman strength, forearms, razor claws, razor sharp claws and teeth. The crazy thing is like his tongue is indefinitely long. So there's no telling how long his damn tongue is, which is crazy. Um, he has like his tongue is like bioelectric. He has an enhanced sense of smell, and he has the ability to alter his body mass and size, which came in handy for him quite a few times. Um, I know you guys want to see me put this together, but we're just going, over a few things with him. He is from an alternate timeline, and that's going to be Earth 295, where Apocalypse conquered North America. And before I continue on, this is just going to port in like so. So all you're going to do is break it. Never mind. Shove that right in. And then the back piece seems a little tricky. You got to get this. Am I getting this on film? You got to get this belt under the way. So you got to tuck it like on his butt, and then come in with this piece, and just that should just pop right in. No snap or anything. Now he looks like sorry, like a wad of like a meatball, like a armless, legless turd rolling in the wind. But anyway, yeah, man, I really am enjoying this build a figure. It's not even put together yet, and I think this is pretty awesome. So we got the right leg, and okay, a little tough to put on. Left leg, just as tough. Let me get some of that off-camera strength on it. And there he goes. Let's back him up just a little bit. I tell you what, there's no ab crunch on this guy. Waist articulation and his head up and down movement is very limited to 0. So yeah, that looks cool. The cool thing about these hands here is they're interchangeable. So whether you want to plug these in, of course, you got to plug the right arms on the right side, left arms on the right side. Wait a minute. Right arms on the right side, left arms on the left side, but the fists are interchangeable too, so you don't have to keep popping the arms off. As long as you put them in the right arm, it doesn't matter. They all just port in fine. So that's kind of cool. And we know he has his hammer. The older version of him was actually very similar to this one, and that was from Toy Biz somewhere like in '96, I want to say. And that one had a button you could push, and he would laugh, which was really creepy, and it was kind of cool. I'm probably gonna end up hunting that damn thing down. So here we go with the arms, and man, this thing is awesome. Like I've been saying, as of late, Hasbro cannot do anything wrong. And this is pretty sweet. And there you have Sugar Man put together. Let's put his hammer in his hand. Look at the details on that guy. So, as I was saying, yeah, so Apocalypse takes over North America in the Earth 92 or 295, excuse me, which is the Age of Apocalypse timeline. But as we know, uh, yeah, man, I'm sorry, I'm just in love with this dude, man. This is pretty awesome, and I stated in the earlier video where I would have never thought we would have gotten a Sugar Man, just as controversial as he is, because of some of the things that he had done in that timeline. So in Age of Apocalypse, he is trained by Mr. Sinister in genetics and science, and he runs a slave camp over in Niagara Falls. Yeah, he has his lab where he wow, he just did a cartwheel. Oh my god, that is hilarious. Wow. All right, let's just set him up just like that for a quick second. But yeah, man. So he has a slave camp over in Niagara Falls. He's in charge of the Northwest Human Slave Camp, which is called the Seattle Core. And Magneto tries to send Generation Next to go get him, or to try to go get Ileana. I want to say it's Ileana Rasputin, and Colossus is there with them, and he ends up killing a couple of the members of Generation Next. And in this battle, he's like, they think they kill him, but he ends up shrinking himself, and he ends up hiding in Colossus's boot. And then later on in the story, it talks about how he ended up on inside the regular Marvel universe, where he jumps into the Mcron crystal, and then he ends up on Earth 616, which is the regular Marvel timeline. Going a little bit further in the 2000 Blink Limited series, they show a flashback of Sugar Man where he was like the jailer, a jailer in charge of the cellmates, and two of the cellmates were Ileana, which is Magic, Ileana Rasputin, and Blink, and they were in a prison facility where he abused them. And that's kind of where I kind of was like, man, I don't think we're ever gonna get a Sugar Man figure. However, man, I'm happy to have gotten him. And let's see, how far are we? 8 minutes in. I think I could do a couple more minutes talking about this dude, but yeah, pretty cool, man. So let's bring out a couple of the other figures. Here's the Blink, and I kind of put that cloak on her. Jean Grey. Bring her out. Weapon X. Not Wolverine. And in this timeline, a lot of the characters we see, they look different and they're similar. And some of the characters never really get their mutant abilities in this timeline. So you have people like, let's say, take for instance, the Fantastic Four. I want to say, like, Reed Richards isn't Mr. Fantastic, but he does work for the Human High Council, and so does Ben Grimm. They never get their powers. Doom never gets his powers. Who else is there? I talked about a couple of other people as well. Captain Britain, uh, Emma Frost, and a few others. And some of these characters have alternate um, identities. So Cable from Earth 616 in this timeline is actually Nate Gray. So Wolverine is Weapon X, but there's another Wolverine that's in Age of Apocalypse as well, and he's neither here nor there. He's not that important. So just like we got Dark Beast, so he is the alternate version of Beast. So in the regular timeline, we know that he's trained by uh, Professor X and the X-Men when he learns to use his abilities for good, and where in this timeline he doesn't have the guidance from the X-Men nor Professor X, and he becomes evil to the point of where he loves it. Um, we have here Sunfire. So AOA Sunfire. Hopefully I can get him to stand. Right? And in this story, in the beginning, he actually looks like himself, but then he's beat up and his powers are pushed to the limit, and he ends up setting himself on fire, hurting himself, and he's later rescued, and that's what we get. But initially, he looked just like this, and I told someone that I would bring this out on camera and show you guys this maskless Sunfire that I kind of just put together. That's pretty much using North Stars from Alpha Flight's head, which is, I thought, is a good look, and it resembles him as well. Then we have Morph, and as we know in the regular timeline, Morph looks nothing like this. That's their comedic relief. And then we have Wild Child. Hopefully he'll stand. Yeah, are we getting all this on camera? So yeah, pretty dope wave. Am I leaving anybody out? Oh, Nate Gray. And Nate Gray. And I say the Nate Gray, Dark Beast, and Sunfire are first time characters, and we know these are not, well, as well as, I mean, they're all first time characters, but these are characters, what I was trying to say, these are characters that we can use not only in Age of Apocalypse, but we can use them across the board, and use, like I was saying, with, wow, I'm drawing a blank right now. Why am I drawing a blank? The point I was trying to make is he can easily double as one of the horsemen, and we know that Nate Gray has gone on to have his own comic book run, and then Dark Beast is now in 616 as well as Sugar Man. So we got three characters that crossed over from this event. So with that being said, man, there's so many characters in this series that I would like to see, like including Deadman Wade, Carol Danvers, Cyclops and Havoc look pretty dope. Mr. Sinister's pretty cool. We are getting the Apocalypse, and man, there's no telling where we can go from here. I think we could use a couple of more bad guys. There was a Forge in there who was not necessarily bad, but he was bad. He would end up being killed off. A lot of characters got killed off in this series. But yeah, man. Any questions, you guys feel free to ask. I try to answer as quick as possible. But yeah, please like, subscribe, and as always, take care.